Okay, I would like to talk about horizons and resonances. Um, and this is my own philosophy of how I view life, and I hope it inspires you to develop your own philosophy. Um, so, I'd like to talk about locks and keys. So I'd like you to imagine that this is sort of a lock, and what I'd like to do is pass my hand behind this one, and in order to do that, I would have to lift this finger by this much, this finger by this much, this finger by this much, and this finger by this much, and then I can unlock, I can open. So you can see that the information about how to unlock it is resides in how high should this go up, and how high should this one go up, and that information is encoded in the key, because basically what the key does is if you have the right key, it'll push all the fingers by the exact amount required. So you could see that the shape of the lock to be open is analogous to the shape of the key, because we want to raise these by an X amount, and it's basically what this key does. So I want you to remember this very visual concept, this very clear and tangible concept of having some information that is in an object which is analogous to another object. So what we're trying to do here is we have a key which embodies information, and this information will unlock something. This information will do something. So there is a structure here. There is a structure here that has a function, and if we send the right information to it in some way, then it's going to achieve its purpose. So I would like you to think about the fact that if we have the right key, which has the right information, then it allows something, a structure, to do its purpose, right? So now think of a swing in a park. If you have a swing and you want to push someone, you have to time it well. You basically push the person, and when they come back and they're about to change direction again, then you push again. So your timing is very important, right? So this is the frequency. The frequency at which you're going to push will allow the swing to function well. If you don't push at the right frequency, you can imagine that the swing is going to go back and forth, and it's just not gonna work. So the frequency here is tightly linked to the structure. So the swing, the way the structure is made, and here the important feature is the length of the cables. The right frequency will allow the structure to function as it should. It'll sort of wake it if you want. It'll do what it's supposed to do. So you can see that the timing of your push, the frequency, is kind of the key to unlock what the structure of the swing is supposed to do. So think of the key here, the information, which is which frequency should I push, is the key to unlocking the function of the structure. It allows it to do what it's supposed to do. So let's go a step further. So this is a tuning fork. If I strike the tuning fork, you're going to hear a very, very clean sound, which is the key of A. And the vibration, so the two forks are vibrating like this at a rate of 440 hertz per second. So if I strike it, I don't need to have a lot of information to know, to make this tuning fork work. I just strike it and it's going to go naturally to its natural frequency. A little bit like if you go back to the swing set, if you take someone and you go up and you release it, then it's going to go by itself to its natural frequency. You didn't have to have the timing right for that. It's going to go by itself, but it's going to stop. So if you want to keep it going, if you want to keep the swing going, then you need to know the right frequency at which to push. So same thing with the tuning fork. If I strike it, it's vibrating at 440 hertz per second, but it's going to dampen down. It's going to slowly lose its energy, and then at some point it will stop vibrating. Now, if I wanted it to keep vibrating, I could keep striking it, but one cool thing is that I could sing the same note. Okay, if I sang like if I sing the same note next to it, then the pressure that I'm creating in the air with the vibration. So if you want to visualize the what's happening when I sing that note, there are pressures of air progressing. So high pressure, low pressure, high pressure, and basically the speed at which these strike the tuning fork is at 440 hertz per second, and it's mechanically making the tuning fork vibrate. So so it's kind of it's a little bit like if you have a glass of wine and you sing, then you could technically like break it. It's hard to do, but you could technically do it. So you can see here is that the key to unlocking what this does is having the right frequency. Now, if you hit the key right, then the structure will do something. It'll function right. If I sing any other note, then the tuning fork will not do anything. Now let's go a step beyond and move a little bit further into abstract territory, but I want you to think about your brain. Now think about the frequency of a mosquito flipping its wings. If you get used to associating a mosquito to a specific frequency, then you are going to develop a certain reaction. When there's a mosquito, you are aware of it and you want to make sure that it doesn't sting you, so you're going to be on the lookout. So you can see that this reaction of being on the lookout and ready to slap something is the horizon. It's what's on the horizon being established for this specific frequency. And if it happens often enough, since all mosquitoes have pretty much the same frequencies or very, very close to it, then there's going to be a habit being formed where you're going to link that frequency of the mosquito to being on the lookout. Now, many things in this world can produce this specific frequency, but the horizon for that frequency, what's going to happen, which is in a way what the key will unlock in order for it to function, will be that specific frequency. So if you are in a different environment and there's a machine that is vibrating and there's like this specific frequency and you hear it, you might be on the lookout for something and you don't even realize it. You're kind of ready to swap something, but the context for mosquito isn't here. you don't see a mosquito in your field of view. And these are the moments where you don't realize what's happening to you. But this is really interesting because that sound is analogous to another different sound, another frequency. And this is the key to unlock something. This is the key to make something happen, which is on the horizon. And this horizon changes all the time. Why? Because now you're going to hear this frequency in a different context. And if this context is very, very, very pleasant for some reason, then a new kind of horizon is being established for that specific frequency. And if you are in that specific environment often enough, a habit can be created so that the next time you hear a mosquito, you might feel very, very good, but you don't know why. You know what I mean? There is your brain has built a habit of correlating a certain frequency as a key to unlock something in your brain. And this is how I feel that very often there are moments where I see something and I feel a certain way towards it and I don't know why, but I know that there are frequencies happening which are reminding me of something. The horizon of how I should feel and how I'm going to act is always reminding me of the key that's triggering it, but it's also established new horizons for it. So resonances and horizons, they are linked together. If you want, you could think about, if you think about biology, you can think of how anatomy and physiology are very linked together. What something does is often very, very correlated to its structure of how it looks. So if you look at a heart, you could look at it and see, hey, it looks like a pump, then its function should be to pump something. So I'd like you to keep this in mind when you notice things where you are kind of reminded of something and you don't know. Think that there are frequencies happening in your brain that are creating new horizons for you, but at the same time reminding you of the keys that unlock that. There you go.